Dr. Bridget here with another prescription for success. This week we're going to talk about habits and the anchors that keep habits in place. Now, habits can be good or they can be less than useful. The reason I'm going to talk about this week is that often people come to see me and they want to have some change, and anchors create habits that keep people in one place. If you think about Gulliver being tethered all in one place, he couldn't even move even if he wanted to. And there's lots of habits that we do that cause unwanted effects, and we're just not consciously aware of them. So here's the time to become really consciously aware of our habits and the anchors that keep them in place. Okay, so what is an anchor? An anchor is an automatic response. It's a sort of unconscious response, and it leads to a certain behaviour, certain feeling, and therefore certain results. So what are anchors? They could be visual, they could be auditory, they can be kinesthetic, they can be olfactory or gustatory, and I put a little bit of an extra explanation in my blog about those. So let's give you an example of an anchor. So I was training a puppy last year, and I wanted to have an automatic recall so that the puppy instantly came when I called his name. And the way I set that up was to think of what I was going to call the dog, click for a good response, and then something to eat. And it became so automatic that wherever he was, he would come instantly, and that's a really good anchor. An example of an auditory anchor, perhaps that's less useful, is perhaps when you hear a song that creates sad feelings. However, I use anchors in my NLP training. I play Pharrell Williams when I want to get people to sit down and let's do the next exercise. And it's quite interesting to watch because I tell them about this and then play it several times at the start of exercises, and it becomes an automatic response. So even if they're next door having a cup of coffee, ooh, they're back in and sitting down, which is amazing. So I've created a table for you, an exercise for you to think about your anchors and your habits. So down the left hand side I've got visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory or gustatory. Then I've got along the top the anchor, what effect it had, and then the next bit is, do you want to keep it, do you want to change it, or do you want to ditch it altogether? And it's just an awareness raising exercise really, and I hope that's useful for you. So what if you could actually think about all your anchors that create your habits and change the ones that were not useful for you? That would be fab, wouldn't it? Because then you could actually create change. However, if you just wanted to stay the same, then you don't need to change any anchors, and it just will have been a useful exercise to raise your awareness that you're fine. On the other hand, if you want to change and you didn't change your anchors, then you're going to get the same results as you do now, and maybe that's not so useful for you. So have a go at the exercise, have a think about what anchors are useful, what aren't, make some changes and leave me some comments, and I shall see you next week. Bye.